them come. This is their fate.
Fortnite was it was the game that copied everything, right? And it's still very much so a huge game. I'm not saying that it's not a huge game. They did something where they did not want to leave nobody else the ability to say that we don't have what you want here. Um, and that's cool. That's very much so cool, and it's working for them. But when I think of Fortnite, and as we played it, and I'm not sure. I know Jalen played a little bit, but when I played it, I came away with the same thing I thought when I first played it. This game doesn't have an identity. It just has a lot of stuff. And I don't want to be negative Nancy. So thoughts. Tell me what's wrong with that take. Tell me what's wrong with what I'm saying. I just that's my take though. It's like the game with no identity.
But let
No.
me ask you this:
Mhm.
Do you feel like the do you feel like the game lacks identity because of all the what is it? Not compilations, not mashups. What's the
Collaboration.
word? Oh yeah, all the collaborations that they do. So it felt like because the game had a collaboration so much and it involves other things that wasn't from like originated from Fortnite. Do you feel like that is a part that makes it feel like it doesn't have an identity at its core? If that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel as if the collaborations plus the blatant steals of modes and creations, like I don't feel like there's anything unique about Fortnite. The building is unique about Fortnite. So you can build stuff and kind of create, but that is the worst part of the game for me. So I don't feel like they have an identity to land on. They're kind of like the baby of gaming for me.
It's a baby.
I mean, but I don't hear nothing from, or maybe even the game. You know, the game he kind of copies a lot of people's style. He's a really good rapper, but he doesn't have an identity of his own. When he came out, he sounded like 50 Cent, and when he finished, he got like a whole Eminem song right now. I don't know if anybody heard it, but and it's a diss track to
I
him.
listen to that garbage.
Not the garbage,
I don't
but
even know why he did that. When it
dude,
like 10 minutes,
it was 10 minutes,
Yeah.
but
bro.
that is the correlation I get when I think of Fortnite. I'll be like, you're a good game, but you don't have an identity for me to get grasp onto. So I just take a step back. Like, I understand what Apex is. I understand what Call of Duty is. I don't understand what Fortnite is, and
Mhm.
it's just kind of that is what it is. Not saying that it's a terrible game. Not saying it's a bad game. But when I play it, I don't think it's competitive, and I don't think it's truly trying to stay for the casual gamer because at the same time they try to make sure that they're adding things that are not only fun but are more mechanically sound, and then they come into this middle ground where you have things that should not be on, like a boogie grenade should not belong in a tactical shooter, but at the same time building shouldn't belong in a tactical shooter, and then you should say okay, but sliding should be there. So I'm going to add sliding, revive things, and it just turns into the melting pot of stuff. So
Mhm.
what you think,
Yeah,
Josh?
it is, and in my mind, I kind of think of Fortnite as wanting to be its identity is that it is everything, and
Mm-hmm.
that that's kind of a confusing identity, but that makes it at least second best at everything. Like if Apex has the best character classes, and this other game has the best like movement, and this other game has
Mm-hmm.
like GTA Online has like cars and like you can do drive-bys and uh, ride a bike off a building and stuff like that. Uh, Fortnite takes all those elements and puts it in and does them all pretty well, to the point where it is a catch-all, and I think that's their success, because from playing it, like you said, I don't like the building aspect of it, so I only play the non-building mode. Or if I
Right.
do play a mode with building, it's more like the 50 on 50 mode where it's just like chaos. Um, but without the building, like I really like all the different items that they have. Like I like picking up the grappling hook and be able to swing and like, oh, this swinging is actually really, really good. Like the only other game that I can think of that has better swinging is probably Spider-Man. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
why is why is Fortnite have such good swinging in it? Not to say that every single thing in the game is like perfect, because
Mm-hmm.
the driving is okay. I don't really like it. I prefer like how other games do it, but it's like that's what they do there. They put so much in there that you can't say that there's not something fun there because we have everything that's fun. But as far as like a competitive online game, like
Mm-hmm.
no, I would not put it in the same tier as Apex or even like Warzone, something like that. Um, but I think that's fine because I think at this point we might see them even over the next few years transition away from what Fortnite is because like building was like its identity when it first came out, but now one of its most popular modes is the non-building mode, and like this was what made Fortnite what it was, and now you've let people move away from that, and so maybe in the next couple of years they'll keep removing elements or like changing things to fit, I guess, the more social aspect that they want. They just want people to come here, play a couple games with their friends, or even just with random people, and like buy all the action figures, you know?
Yeah,
'Cause
but what do you think that would? Because even if they tried to do that, they're losing, and that's where I say the identity stuff come into my mind, where I feel like they had a core audience built off of this one thing. Like there were build-a-thons, there were things that were happening, and then they're trying to push away from it, which is understandable because if that's not working anymore, you'll want to. It's working because they're spending tons and tons of money for not only advertisement, brand deals, getting people collaborations in the game. There is tons and tons of money going out to just be viable still. And I don't think once you pull back that curtain and you actually look at the game itself, and you take away everything that's that it's there, that you truly have a solid game to pivot on. Like I still feel like combat is clunky. I feel like movement is still clunky. I feel like grappling is I feel like they add stuff and it's not refined. Now I understand you like the grappling hook, and I like that it was cool to move around with. But if I'm sitting there and I'm animating a build break, and I'm trying to hit the sweet spot, and I'm just clamoring away, like I just feel like as I peel back layers of this game and I peel back the things that they have introduced, the clunkiness of it just comes to the forefront for me. And I feel like they add a lot of stuff, but it's not. I don't know if they spend the money to really refine it, and that's okay. I guess when you're adding and introducing a lot of things, you don't have to do that because it's like something new and fun every other day. Um, but at some point, we really have to look at your game and say, is this a good product? It might be a good game, but is it a good product to sell? Can it sell on its own right? I don't think Fortnite is that. But when
I
you create your and base your game around that identity of having everything for everyone, um, what else can you do but to kind of mask the mediocrity is to kind of get these, and this is me stating that. I'm not saying y'all stating that. I'm stating right now that the game is mediocre in regards to what they introduce and refinement. Um,
mhm.
it's not mediocre in their brand deals, their collaborations. It's not mediocre in their sponsorships or even their collaborations. Like none of that is mediocre to me. That is top tier marketing, top tier. I think the game itself is mediocre. So,
Yeah, with like the shooting and stuff like that, like I would never say Fortnite has like the best first or third
but they
person
don't have
like
the best
shooting
building.
mechanics.
Like, I still go to Minecraft for better building. Like, I just don't like none of their stuff. Like, none of their stuff works for me. Where it's like, oh, this is the greatest here. Like, they might have fast building, but it's still clunky. They might have the ability to run around and sprint now, but you can't run up a hill. Like, everything I've noticed in that game felt unpolished. What do you? I guess and chime in whenever, Jalen. But what did you feel when you were playing just that? And I'm not trying to be like, hey, I'm not trying to, you know, uh, I'm not trying to correlate an attack on Fortnite. What I'm trying to say is trying to get my point across from different views and opinions, but also kind of talk about this game. So, what did you see when you played it, Jalen, or when you used to play it, or from what you used to play now?
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna be honest. I feel like granted, I was playing it on what a Xbox One. I feel like it was a little clunky and mediocre-ish before with like the building and stuff. I feel like it was just real cartoony. I feel like when the game is like cartoony, it's a little bit harder to gauge like the graphics and the I ain't gonna say the fluidity of the game. But anywho, just fast forward. When I played it the other day, I feel like I seen a lot of improvements with the game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it was a lot more fluid.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't gonna say it was necessarily like cleaner because there's a lot of stuff going on your screen. But I felt like it was. I feel like the game was a lot better than what it was. And just
Did
going
that?
on outside. Huh?
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, you go ahead.
Did that game match having Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and LeBron James in it? Did the game match the 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 amount of collabs and the popular presence? Did the game itself match having all of that in it? Like
What you mean match?
when you're
Like the environment? Like, can you
like
picture LeBron James shooting
I think
Itachi? Like
no no
that
no
type
no no no
of.
no
it
no no
sounds
no.
like he means like polish or like pedigree, where it's like if you have the best, like if you have all the Marvel characters in your game is the best game out, right? Or it's like, well, no, our game is not the best game out. We just have the best collaboration.
When you go to look at them skins that they sell and how fluid and how well designed the skins are, when you go into the game, do you feel that same presence?
What
I mean, I
Deontay is
don't.
saying is that I'm fly. No, it's a good metaphor. I'm fly. I got the newest Jordans. I got a nice car, but I live with my mama. That's what Deontay is saying about
Yeah, no, I
Fortnite.
get that. You got these high level collaborations, and then and what he perceived as a mediocre game. No, I definitely get that, but
But did you feel
um,
it? If you didn't feel it, that's
I
fine. I'm
didn't.
just asking you, did you feel that?
Nah, I didn't. I didn't really feel that way because I guess I got a
Then
less
they're
technical
they're doing
standpoint.
a good better job of masking it. They're doing a better job than I'm taking for it because I'm taking it from my lens, right? I want to get your opinion on your lens and what you see. So if they're doing a good job masking it, I don't have a beef. Because as long as they're doing that, that makes me feel as if people are getting their money's worth. But if I'm looking at it, I'm not spending a dime because even if I love this animation and how this character plays and the cool stuff she has, like I really wanted that Street Fighter Cammy. I just know the game is not good enough for me to spend money on and play in that game. But if they're doing a decent enough job of allowing those collaborations in the world to match to the average consumer, then I don't have a beef. So, and that's kind of what you were saying is or alluding to before I cut you off. I'm sorry, but am I correct in that?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say, yo, you got a more technical lens with the game than um I with me. I'm looking at Fortnite like, all right, this a cartoony game, like it's a kiddish game, like well, all the kids they the coldest at it. You know what I'm saying? I got killed by no skin or they build and all that type of stuff, like. So they don't have like an experienced lens. Like we seen games transition through all these generations and knowing different things, what they expect and stuff. These cats planning and stuff, they just like, hey man, they got Itachi in this game, bro. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm like, shoot, let me see Itachi dance with the boogie ball, bro. Like I'll pay money to see that, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. But no, like in all seriousness though, I think like Josh was saying, just the idea of it has something for everybody in there, and the fact that they're constantly innovating, to me is a selling point. I mean, Apex, we had a whole conversation about Apex. Like Apex be tiring me out sometimes. I just be looking like I'm finna go do the same thing I was doing 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, ain't a whole lot. Like it ain't nothing exhilarating on there. Like you say, you got to find your fun. I guess that could be a good and bad thing, but I don't know. It's just I do like the fact that how much I seen Fortnite change was a selling point that kind of like piqued my interest a little bit to go, explore and stuff like that. I will say it's a lot of they pushing a lot of stuff on there and it look a little cluttered with everything that they trying to sell and stuff.
Yeah,
Then they're doing Apex, but Apex ain't no better because they charge you $30 for a skin. I mean,
agreed.
They're
I
charging
don't,
$100 now.
yeah, they
100,
be taxing for
150,
them skins, bro. Like
150,
to me,
man.
they on the high horse, bro. That's what pisses me off. I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all not
Yeah,
putting
like
nothing in this game, and y'all charging me
even though it's still
$100 for a skin.
microtransactions, like even though it's microtransactions, I can't believe that they like Fortnite is selling Captain America with all this extra stuff for $20, whereas like Apex is asking for 120 for Bangalore skin.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
looking like, bro, like I'm how I feel about money, bro. Like that pisses me off because like y'all telling me y'all this cold where y'all can sell y'all skins for. I don't care how hard y'all worked in there, bro. As
that's
a
because they
consumer and
force
playing
you
the game,
to. Yeah, they force you
I'm
to
not
pay
I'm
for the
not
whole
enjoying it.
thing. They force you to pay for the whole thing, and yes,
a
it
hundred
is a
dollars though.
high, it is a stark price tag, especially when you're looking at exactly what you're getting. You're getting 40 items, but they're not to the stature to cost up to that amount, like $8 or $4 a piece, or whatever the cost may be. They normally are like $4 a piece on each $40 each 40 items. $4 a piece is what totals up, and you get this thing for free. It just doesn't feel worth it because you're buying things you don't necessarily want. Granted, they allow you to one buy the things that you want outright. They allow you to craft the things you want outright with in-game materials, even though we know the crafting materials suck, and how many they give you. They allow you to do this, and that is their scapegoat when it comes to selling things that they know people in their right mind would never want to buy. Like that is their scapegoat, that they give you the opportunity to buy the things that you actually want. But this thing right here, my boy, this thing right here, you'll never get it unless you buy all 40. Or you give me 150 heirloom shards that we all know cost. You gotta open up 500 of them packs, my baby. So it's like this gaming system of tricking you into buying their things. They know for sure their stuff not worth that much. They know it for 100%, but they are masking it in a way to make us pay for it. So I
And
don't
that's the
like it.
problem.
I don't. I think it's a very toxic and mad and way of going about trying to sell things to people, especially when you kind of you kind of build up these characters that people start to love and get attached to, and then you kind of start doing these types of things. Like they're doing this for a reason. They want you to not use your heirloom shards. They want to capitalize on everyone that's a cash cow in this game. They want to do that, and they want to make sure they expand on that money. So this is their way of doing it, selling you a whatever amount type of skin. There's plenty of ways to get it cheaper, but it's still a very expensive skin. So yeah, I agree with 100% about that, and I understand that when Fortnite puts a skin in the game, they're putting in a good skin. They're putting in a lot of stuff that you can get with that skin. I just don't want to sit around and play a game where the skins are that I'm playing or using or collecting aren't benefiting me because the game itself, the game, the thing that is built upon, I can see the cracks.
Yeah.
And as long as they're hiding that, and that was going to lead me to you, Josh. As long as you feel like the game is good enough, not good enough, because I don't want to say that, because I don't want to put judgment on it from your perspective. As long when you play that game, when you look at the skins and then you go play the game, do you feel like they're comparable? That's the question I have. I posed to Jalen. I want to pose it to you.
I understand where you're coming from with that line of thinking. I agree in some ways, but I would say my definition of mediocre is different, especially for battle royale games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though Fortnite is not of a good battle royale as like Apex, it's still better than 95% of every other battle royale. And so yeah, I would say it is quality. The skins are matching the quality of the game because the game is not like cheap. Even though it's not like the most polished battle royale, it's still like 100 times more polished than PUBG. Like, that's one of the reasons why Fortnite started popping, because it was polished compared to all of its other competition.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, but at the same time, I understand, like, no, I don't think that the game is like the most the gameplay and the game things that you do in the game are not the most genre defining or most innovative things. Like I said, Fortnite wants to be second best at everything. And I think that on its own is valuable because no other game can claim to be able to do that. But
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, like, yeah, I understand. Like, at the end of the day, I would probably just prefer to play Apex for a competitive game. And I wish that I would say I wish that Apex would copy more from Fortnite with how they do things. Like, oh, we gonna go all in on the One Piece collaboration in Apex. So we gonna pay them their money and get Luffy in the game or whatever.
You're
And like,
talking
oh, that
about their collaboration side, like their marketing
well,
side.
collaboration. No, I would say limited time modes, custom games, battle pass, like battle pass customization. Like, there's so much stuff outside of the shooting that I think Fortnite does really good that Apex is not doing good at all.
Gotcha.
Like,
Okay.
their loot box system is trash. The battle pass, I wouldn't say that it's trash because it's offering you items for $10 and it's giving you some money back.
Mm.
But it's not offering anything like I must have this realistically. Because, like, even though Fortnite, for example, Fortnite right now, their season, they have a character that's like basically an action figure. And the more you play the game, you unlock different head and arm and leg pieces for the character. Even though that's not the character that I like, the whole point that they put extra mechanics in where you can do these quests and unlock a head, or you can go to this part in a map and open a chest and you get his leg. It's like all these different things just for this one skin that's a small part of the battle pass. Like, I like having those extra mechanics because that makes the game more interesting on many different levels. Whereas, like, I'm not saying Apex has to copy that, but like, you could do a whole lot more with what you have, and it doesn't seem like they're interested in that.
Would you take a Yeah, I guess I don't want to pose that question because we kind of already spoke on it, but I I'm pretty decisive on this. I will take Apex's model right now over Fortnite simply because they decide what they put more decision behind, introducing new mechanics and characters and actual fun and things like literally map rotations, understanding how the map works, understanding where dives are, understanding what is causing pain to the average game. and that is what I'm mostly doing. So I will take their model still over Fortnite's any day, simply just because they are taking the needs that I find important and pushing them to the max. I wish they would do a lot more when it comes to UI design, making things more fun and engaging. When it comes to their crafting system, their loot box system, their battle pass. But if it's going to take resources away from the things I find the most important, don't do nothing, my boy. Leave everything the same. Like, that is how I feel, but that is because of where my mind is geared toward right now. It's like I'm geared towards that competitive stance. I'm geared towards making a more enjoyable experience. I'm geared towards getting my 20 bomb. I'm geared towards getting my 4,000 badges, on every character I want to play with. So I'm just geared towards that. I'm not geared towards the what's in the market, or what they kind of want to, what type of challenges they got in the game. I really don't care. But I do get it that is stuff is super duper important, and it's not to be belittled or to be shrunk or shortened. It is truly something that is engaging for people and is engaging in a lot of different ways. And if they copy some stuff, great. I just never seen Apex copy anyone. I just seen other people copying them. So I'm always gonna
Yeah,
go with
and
that
I think
innovative.
that's because Apex is innovative. They're going to be the top. It's like we have the best character classes and mechanics going on in the game, in the match.
Yeah.
But all I mean is that I think Fortnite has a really good, well, obviously they're $1 billion company. They
Yes,
have
sir. Yes,
a
sir. Yes, sir.
infrastructure outside of the matches themselves that other companies can eventually or hopefully get something from that works for them. So I'm not saying that
hmm
Apex needs to be exactly like Fortnite, because that doesn't make sense. Apex is successful for what it is. But when it comes to infrastructure, stuff like that, at some point, remove the loot boxes and just replace it with a normal store, or make a better battle pass. Like, I don't think that is too much to ask for
No,
if
I don't think so.
Fortnite is doing it and they're still number one in revenue. Like,
Yeah.
I you can there's something to be learned from there. But anyways, I would say, like, yeah, I agree. Fortnite is not the best game ever, and it's not the game for every mood. But I think that what I've noticed, especially in the last week, is that what they're trying to do is, since they have so many players, I've noticed how do they have like 30 different modes on the screen, and all of them have people playing. Is because they try to keep at least figure out what's the minimum number of players to keep the matchmaking healthy in that mode, and that's what they prioritize. So if it's 100,000 in the no building mode, and it's another 50,000 over here in the trios mode and stuff like that, they have enough players that all of their modes are supported, and that's how they're successful, because everybody is felt catered to because they have what they want. Whereas like
Absolutely.
Apex, everybody's in the same pool, so everybody has to eat from the same resources. And when something is not there, like my map that I want to play is Olympus, well, I have no interest in the game because that's the only thing that I want. And Fortnite avoids all of that because everybody has what they want at all times.
Yeah. It's a very unhealthy way of, because it forces people not to play it while, and it's a way of deteriorating the player base, because it's like it causes you to not only not want to play during those time frames, but then you have to try to schedule, and it's not like just a hop on and play, because it's like, okay, what map we got on? It's like it causes a rift, which is it's kind of unfortunate, but yeah, absolutely. But I know one thing: once if they drop, a Dragon Ball Z mode, I'm gonna play it in Fortnite. It's still gonna be something I would, and be interesting to me. It's just running around, comment, doing any type of Kamehameha in like this game. It would be very interesting to see. Throwing some key blast, whatever the case may be. That's fun and engaging for me. but I just want them to, you know, really pick it up when it comes to that other side of it, you know, because they are hitting it out the park every way, shape, and form when it comes to this marketing collaboration. So once that stuff meets for me, and I'm gonna keep checking it out. I don't think I never stated that I don't like Fortnite. I'm gonna keep checking it out until it gets to a point where I feel like it's refined, refreshed, and I took my time. I went online and I looked up YouTube and I looked up all of their mechanics and I looked up all of the weapons and all that stuff to try to get a better, you know, cadence of the game. And I still came out with you know, my feelings for it, mediocrity. But over time, I feel like it can grow to be better. And definitely was jealous of all of Josh's skins he had over the years. I just was like, dang, you got Jinx in here too, and I ain't had nothing. All I had was my regular skin. So that was very much so like FOMO. But
Man, yeah, that
yeah,
FOMO is real. It works.